Greetings from the Black Hills of South Dakota, United States of America. Stan Gibilisco here with just a little thought about climate change, global warming. You know, all those buzzwords. I've been thinking about that, particularly in light of this cap that my brother-in-law sent me because I have a Toyota Tundra truck, which is a kind of a gas guzzler, and one might almost say environmentally hostile. Here in the Black Hills, however, the environment can be hostile enough to me. I don't know if that justifies being hostile to it. We may get another winter storm here, by the way. It's May 3rd, 2014, but everybody around here seems to think we're going to get one, and my nephew in Wisconsin has offered his forecast that we would get 47 inches of snow on May 13th to 16th. Well, that's not unusual here for the Black Hills, and a lot of the severe weather that we've had in recent months and in recent years isn't really that unusual, I don't think. I don't think that conditions or climate is really getting worse, that much worse. We do have an awful lot of historical records available to us now, and we're taking a lot more information and storing it now than we ever have in the past. So it's difficult to say exactly whether global warming, to what extent it really is taking place, and to what extent, if it is, human activity is responsible. And if human activity is responsible, is it all bad? Is there not a single good thing that can come out of global warming? There must be something good that can come out of it, although for us to tamper with our environment in any way, I think, is a dangerous thing to do, deliberately or otherwise. But there is no doubt that certain things are taking place, and one of those that's really the most noticeable and pronounced is the melting of ice in the Arctic Ocean. Now, imagine, I read a theory when I was a kid about how ice ages got started, and one of the theories was that the Arctic Ocean ice melted to such an extent that evaporation took place much more than it ever had. You know, liquid water will evaporate a lot quicker than snow and ice will. That would deliver a lot more moisture into the polar atmosphere. The poles are nearly a desert, you know, or at least they were. But suppose now that enough moisture were delivered into that polar atmosphere, and the climate of the planet were to change as a result. The most noticeable change, I think, would be that we would see a dramatic increase in precipitation in some parts of the world. And we might see a lot more snow up north. Lots more in the winter. And if we got enough snow, if it began to accumulate so much that it couldn't all melt in the summer, the theory was that that was how the glaciers got started. It just snowed like fury, almost constantly up there, because of all of this evaporated moisture from the open Arctic Ocean. And that built up glaciers, which eventually spread down into the continent. So the Earth, in a way, reacted to warming trends by cooling itself off in a rather dramatic way. The Ice Age was an awful lot cooler. If we had an Ice Age, I don't know if the Black Hills, I don't think that they would be covered by, they weren't covered by the last glacier. The Missouri River marks the demarcation where the glacier edge was, and if you ever have driven across South Dakota, either going west to east or east to west, when you cross the Missouri River, say at Chamberlain or at Pierre, you will notice a rather significant difference in the terrain. You will notice a difference in the insect life. A lot of differences still take place. Well, the next glacial mass, and it's pretty likely that we're going to get another one. There's evidence of an awful lot of cycles like this. The next glacial mass may not end up with its edge at exactly the same place as the last one did. In fact, it probably won't. So a lot of rivers will be altered in their courses. Now, this will take place over thousands of years, and we humans will probably find a way to adapt to these changes. We're pretty versatile. I'll bet our population will decline, and I'll bet a lot of conveniences that we have now will be gone. But I think we'll survive, and we'll find a way to make ourselves stronger as a result. But my question to you is this. Suppose that we are, in fact, warming the planet by all of the fossil fuels that we're burning. Suppose that, in fact, our activities are contributing in significant measure to global warming. Now, it might have occurred whether we were here or not. It might be part of the natural cycle and all this and all that. But suppose that we're accelerating that global warming process by means of our activities. Then what we could be doing unwittingly and inadvertently and perhaps outside of our immediate awareness is bringing on the next ice age a lot sooner than it otherwise would happen. So by delivering all of these global warming compounds into the atmosphere, like I do with big number 8, I'm not a saint. I'm not going to talk like that. I'm not a greenie who says I'm holier than you are. By no means. But suppose that this activity of ours is actually going to result in an ice age. Wouldn't that be just sort of perverted cosmic justice? I mean, we think we're warming the planet. You know, a lot of times when we tamper with our environment, a lot of things happen that we don't expect or are not anticipating, like the evolution of superbugs as a result of too much use of antibiotics, which are supposed to kill bacteria. And the introduction of Japanese beetles into northern Wisconsin, where my parents have a cabin and have experienced some of that phenomenon. A lot of these things, it's hard to say what's going to happen. But just ponder that theory, okay? What kind of justice is that? Stan Gibilisco signing off. Hope you have some pleasant dreams. Till next time, so long.